The Galactic Botanical Summit had never seen anything quite like this before. Professor Zixthar, a distinguished Velconian xenobotanist with crystalline skin that shimmered under the station's artificial lights, stood before an assembly of the galaxy's most brilliant minds. His three eyes blinked in rapid succession, a sign of extreme distress among his species. "I must warn you all," Zixthar's translator device crackled. "What I'm about to show you represents one of the most lethal organic compounds discovered in the known universe." The auditorium fell silent. Delegates from 47 different species leaned forward in their specialized seating arrangements. In the back row, two humans sat casually. Elsa Martinez, a xenobiologist from Earth's Colonial Research Division, and Jixin Chen, her partner in the Field Studies program. Zixthar pressed a button, and a holographic image materialized above the stage. It showed a small, innocent-looking plant with bright red pods hanging from green stems. "This," the professor announced gravely, "is Capsicum annuum, indigenous to the death world known as Earth. The chemical compound within, capsaicin, attacks nerve endings with ruthless efficiency. Exposure causes immediate burning sensations, respiratory distress, and insufficient quantities can trigger cardiac arrest in most sentient species." A collective gasp rippled through the audience. Several delegates activated their personal shield generators. "We discovered this nightmare organism on a routine survey of Earth's biodiversity," Zixthar continued, his voice trembling. "A single gram of pure capsaicin can incapacitate a Velconian in 2.3 seconds. For the Thraxians, it's fatal within 5 seconds. Even the mighty Corvallians, known throughout the galaxy for their resilience to toxins, cannot withstand its effects." In the back row, Elsa nudged Jixin with her elbow. He was trying very hard not to laugh. "The humans," Zixthar said, pointing an appendage toward the projection, "evolved alongside this botanical weapon. Their planet is covered with such dangers. This particular specimen represents just one variety of thousands. Some are so potent that even trained human handlers require protective equipment." Elsa raised her hand. "Professor, may I ask a question?" Zixthar's eyes swiveled toward her. Yes. Our human colleagues. Please share your expertise on this terrible organism." Elsa stood up and Jixin followed suit, pulling out a small thermal container from his bag. They made their way to the stage while confused murmurs spread through the crowd. "Professor Zixthar," Elsa began, her voice calm and measured. "You're absolutely correct that capsaicin affects nerve receptors. However, I think there's been a slight misunderstanding about how humans interact with this plant." "Misunderstanding?" Zixthar's crystalline plates shifted nervously. "Are you saying my research is flawed?" "Not flawed," Jixin interjected with a grin. "Just incomplete." He opened the thermal container and a rich, spicy aroma filled the auditorium. Several aliens immediately activated emergency breathing apparatus. The Velconian professor stumbled backward, his translator squeaking in alarm. "What are you doing?" Zixthar cried out. "That scent alone could make me hungry." Elsa finished, reaching into the container and pulling out what appeared to be a food item covered in red sauce. "Professor, this is what we call buffalo wings. It's a popular human dish." She took a bite, chewing thoughtfully while the entire auditorium watched in horrified fascination. Jixin pulled out another container. "And this," he said, displaying its contents, "is salsa. Tomatoes, onions, cilantro, lime juice, and, you guessed it, lots of those lethal peppers you were talking about." He scooped some with a chip and ate it, closing his eyes in appreciation. Could use more jalapenos, honestly." The silence in the auditorium was deafening. Professor Zixthar's three eyes widened to maximum aperture. But that's impossible. The capsaicin levels in those preparations should have made it delicious," Elsa smiled. "Because they did. Professor, humans don't just tolerate capsaicin, we cultivate it. We breed peppers to make them spicier. We have competitions to see who can eat the hottest ones. Some of us put hot sauce on everything." Jixin nodded enthusiastically. "There's a pepper called the Carolina Reaper. Measures over 2.2 million Scoville heat units. People eat those for fun. Well, fun and bragging rights." A Thraxian delegate, his blue scales turning pale, spoke up in a quavering voice. "You're telling us that you intentionally consume a compound that would kill most of us?" "For pleasure?" "Pretty much," Elsa confirmed. "We call it seasoning. Humans have been doing it for thousands of years. Capsaicin triggers our pain receptors, yes, but we've developed a tolerance. More than that, we actually enjoy the sensation. It releases endorphins. Jixon held up the container of wings. We don't just eat peppers either. Our cuisine includes things like wasabi, horseradish, mustard, ginger, all of which contain compounds that other species would consider chemical weapons. Professor Zixthar slowly lowered himself into a seat, his crystalline form seeming to dim. This is unprecedented. Your species intentionally subjects itself to pain as a form of entertainment. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds weird, Jixon laughed. But yeah, basically. Elsa pulled up her own holographic display. Earth is what you call a death world, Professor. High gravity, extreme weather, abundant predators, and yes, plants that evolved chemical defenses. Humans didn't just survive that environment. We thrived in it. We domesticated those dangerous plants. We turned them into agriculture. We have entire festivals celebrating peppers, Jixon added. Restaurants that specialize in spicy food. We've even taken peppers with us to our colonies on other worlds. There's a thriving jalapeno farm on Mars Station 3. The Galactic Assembly sat in stunned silence as the implications sank in. Finally, a Corvallian elder spoke, her voice filled with a mixture of awe and concern. Let me understand this correctly. Humans encountered deadly plants on their world, and instead of avoiding them, you ate them? And then you grew more of them? And then you made them more deadly? And now you're spreading them across the galaxy? Elsa and Jixon exchanged glances and shrugged in unison. Yeah, they said together. That's pretty much it. Professor Zixthar looked at his notes, then at the humans, then back at his notes. I need to completely revise my presentation, and possibly my understanding of human psychology. Elsa smiled warmly. Tell you what, Professor. After the summit, we'll take you out for Thai food. If you think peppers are impressive, wait until you hear about what humans do with fermented soybeans. The professor's translator emitted what might have been a groan. The end.